Joining us today is a business tycoon, chief executive officer of Bamlo Investments, a motivational speaker, author of the recently best-selling book, The Herdboy. Welcome, Mr. Marambire.
Thank you, Nyasha, for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, sir. Can you please tell us who is Barnabas Marambire?
Barnabas Marambire is a young man. I don't know if I say a young man or a mid-aged man. We're so passionate about business. I'm a family man. I'm married. I've got three boys. And I'm someone who's so dedicated when it comes to entrepreneur. And I love giving back to the community, particularly the underprivileged, where I participate a lot in paying tuition fee, school fees for the underprivileged students.
Wow, quite a loaded profile there. Can you tell us, let's talk about your book. Can you tell us what inspired you to write The Herdboy?
What inspired me to write The Herdboy is my life. I always tell people that my life is a living testimony. I'm someone who grew up in a very difficult, poor situation, growing as an orphan, without parents, without anyone to take care of me. I've failed to further my studies because I only went as far as Form 4. The life was not easy. So each time I look back where I came from and where I am now as a businessman, running 5 companies, because Bamlo Investments is actually a group company, a group of companies, and employing over 500 employees around Zimbabwe. He's participated in so many platforms. I looked at it and I said, but still, people, they don't know what is behind all this success. So I decided to write the story, to put my story in a book. It's a true story that is full of events which have happened. And my belief is when other people read the book, they are going to be motivated, especially those who are also still struggling in their lives. They would look at me and say, if this guy, the head boy, is now a CEO, what can stop them?
Yes.
So that was the most motive behind the writing of the book.
Wow. Let's talk about you being an orphan and having to head kettles at such an early age. Can you tell us about your journey as a head boy? How was it like?
Actually, there's nothing fascinating about being a head boy. That is the lowest grade of a job anyone can dream of.
Yes.
And when people have got employees like head boy at their home,
yes,
you are always treated like nothing. When it is raining outside there, you are the one they send to collect anything.
yes,
When there is all that donkey work needs to be done, you are the one they call to give those tasks to you. Yet your wage is very, very little. I was earning as little as close to $15. That's how I started saving until I raised enough capital to register a company.
Wow.
Even though along the way I then got involved in construction jobs, working as an assistant
Yes.
in the brick molding. But the journey of growing up as an orphan was very difficult. There are days where I could go to bed without eating anything. The day I would go to school without a proper uniform like other kids,
Yes.
without proper shoes. Imagining the days like winter. So just to wrap up, the journey was not easy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
A painful story it is. Are there any challenges you faced along the way, especially in establishing your business? Because I know that it's not easy to just say you want to start a business, especially with how your business is expanding beyond borders. Can you tell us any challenges you faced along the way?
There were so many challenges. Because of time, I will just select quite a few.
Okay.
The biggest challenge was starting capital.
Okay.
From my background, obviously the look, how I present myself, was
Yes.
not anything fancy. So there's no any way I could borrow money from anyone. And so obviously starting without money, with a very little capital, the journey was very difficult. I had to hire vehicles from other people, and those people I hired vehicles from
Yes.
ended up taking the bigger portion of my profit because I didn't have choice. I couldn't choose. I would have to dance the tune of what those people would want.
Yeah.
So that was the first challenge. And then secondly, recognition. That you go and approach people, try to sell your ideas, but when they
Yes.
look at you, you're a nobody and no one will listen to you. Then the challenge of recruiting and employing people. You need
Yes.
people to work with in order to succeed as a company, but you don't have much capital or you don't have money, so no one will
Yes.
ever take you serious. So the challenges were so many, which I had to navigate and find my way through with a. Because one thing which helped me to keep
Yes.
going was self conviction that I had told myself that one day I'm going to be someone.
Yes.
Even the days when we were heading cattle at the farm,
Mm.
we would sit down just chatting as boys, where people would talk of soccer, people would talk of who is the richest man in town. Each time
Yes.
I'd have a moment to speak, I'll tell them that, you know what, one day I'm going to start my company, I'm going to hire so many people, buy so many vehicles. You guys are going to see me on TV and newspaper. And I remember this other guy teasing me, actually saying, if we will ever see you on TV, you'll be a wanted criminal because there's no way um, you can be a successful person considering our lifestyle as Herdboy.
Yes. Wow. Ah, that's powerful, and we are really inspired by you. Let's draw back. We would like to know what was your turning point that led to the transformation of a head boy to an entrepreneur. What was the turning point?
The turning point is when I got a job
Okay.
to work in more like a town.
Yes.
Because at first I was from the farm, then I moved from the farms to a place which was more like a town.
Yeah.
And I was hired now in a construction industry and
Okay.
worked very well with those people who hired me. Then later, they decided to part because there were two partners. Another partner was transferred to another town
Yes.
and they wanted to close their company.
Yeah.
And I offered to them that can I buy the company and continue with the work. So instead, they rented me the place. That's where I started and worked one step at a time, one step at a time, until I managed to establish and hire people. But I was actually also doing the donkey work, like the practical work in the construction industry.
Wow, indeed, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Mr. Marambire, can you please share secrets that you use to be where you are today, which people who are also going through the same phase that you went through can use, especially those who have aspirations or dreams to be entrepreneurs?
Actually, what I can say or what I can share with them is if you want something, you should know that it's your responsibility, it's your call to make it happen. I see a lot. I see a lot in these upcoming entrepreneurs or startups that they come with the mentality of maybe thinking that maybe the government is going to do something for me, or a certain established person is going to help me to do this and that. I would say it doesn't work like that in the corporate world. You have to be your own master. You have to work hard. You have to save. You have to do everything by yourself. If it will ever happen that you get assistance, let it come as a bonus. Don't wait for it, idling, hoping that one day, somewhere, a miracle will happen. Otherwise, you will stay for the rest of your life waiting for that miracle.
Wow, powerful there. Indeed, we don't have to wait for opportunities, and indeed, we have to be the master of our own lives because, as you have said, the government will not create opportunities for us because they don't know what our dream is. Mr.
Exactly.
Marambire, can you please tell us if someone was to read only a chapter of your book, which one would you refer them to and why?
If you know the chapters of the book, they are so they are so, what can I say? They are so, all of them, they are so important
Yes.
because as you start from chapter one, it talks about how I lost my parents, what I went through as a small boy, and then chapter two, it goes on and goes. If Could you allow me at least to choose two chapters?
It's okay.
Okay. Now, I would recommend to read chapter three and
Okay.
to read chapter six.
Okay.
Yes,
Why
because
why
sorry.
would you want someone to read chapter 4 and 6?
No, chapter three and chapter six. In chapter three, that's the chapter which talks about more of the hustling, the hustling, more a little bit of turnaround of the head boy becoming in the construction industry and a process of transformation to a better life. Then chapter six, it's when it talks about the human jealousy, that I was being jealous and the struggle of losing my first company in Botswana, coming back to Zimbabwe to start a new chapter. So I think those are the chapters which talks about the real struggle.
Wow, thank you so much. Can you please tell us any people who have helped you to be where you are? Because I believe that every successful person has a mentor, someone who mentors and guides them.
God has actually blessed me with good people I met in my life. I
Okay.
have met other people who just helped me with ideas, with advice, and showed me love.
Yes.
Out of all those people, the person I can want to thank right now, actually, it's my wife who believed in me when I was just still in construction industry, and she
Yes.
walked with me through until where we are now. So she's actually a pillar of strength in my life. Then when we come to more like mentorship, I have the person I started followed. I've started followed on Facebook and
Okay.
learned a lot from. That is Dr. Strive Masiwa. I really followed his teaching and I believed in his business ethics, which some of the principles I apply in my business, and I see the business actually growing. And I was very happy to finally meet him in Ghana sometime last year.
Wow.
So he's the person I, 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 I took as my mentor. He inspires me a lot.
Wow, that's great. If someone wants to buy your book, where can they get the Head Boy?
Currently, we've uploaded it on Amazon, the Herdboy, that's the title, and the hard copies can be found if you're in Zimbabwe, in Harare, with Nigel, the like pastor, is more visible on social media. He has hard copies there, and if it is in Botswana, we have Mr. Timber, who have the hard copy, who also have the hard copies there. And for a privilege for those who just want to listen to the audio version, because we have made an audio version, they
Wow.
can go on Sasai podcast under the category of entrepreneur. You can enjoy and listen the audio version there.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Marambire. That's it from the head boy who transformed his life into a business tycoon. He's successfully running a business here in Zimbabwe and across the borders. It was a pleasure having you here, sir, on the Motimagz Great Achievers. We have really learned a lot from you. Indeed, your story and journey, it's a really inspiring story. I'm sure that many who are out there their lives. They are going to use the secrets that you have shared with us today to transform their lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really bring glory to God for such a motivational life.
It's never easy. Kukura usina no kuda. You gotta fight to find your way to the top. It wasn't easy. Kura skone hama wedue. I am here to tell my story.